All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 6. I hope everyone is doing great today. I know that I am, as always. We're jumping right back into our game save, and we have done a little bit of work off camera and on stream since the last video that went out. Again, as always, if you're interested in catching a live stream live, the link for it is in the description down below. I typically go live on Mondays and Fridays at about 4:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you need to convert that, you can go onto the Googles and convert it to whatever time zone you may be in. But anywho, so I'll catch you up real quick on what we got going. So we really just spent a decent amount of time doing some tedious tasks on stream, but also having some fun as well. It's always a good time, always a chill time. But as you guys remember, with our bee setup, we've been kind of growing it out, and we do have 3 apiaries now, which is really nice. The other thing that we went ahead and did is we got this bumped up to a tier 3 apiary. I don't recall if I did this in the video or not last time, but it is a tier 3 now, which is really nice. And these guys are working away. Now, we do have a new addition to this. If we go to bees, I did breed up some iron bees. Well, I have 1 iron bee currently, and I believe, if I am not mistaken, this guy just wants iron blocks. Now for this guy, it was just a breed between a quartz bee, which we found in the nether, and a stoned bee, which used to be, I believe, a mason bee, if I'm not mistaken. They have switched them, so if you have some stored from earlier in the pack days, that is what it was. You can just place it down out of the jar, and it'll convert to the most recent version of it. We have an 80% chance of getting an iron bee with some blocks of quartz and industrial hemp fiber, so not too shabby there. And yeah, he just wants blocks of iron. So that's what we're going to grab real quick here. Actually, we did get another one, which is perfect. I do like to have 2 of them per apiary that they're going to be in. It maximizes the overall output of it. So we're going to grab these and get some iron blocks going. So I think that would be a good amount right there. And what we could do, I think this one would make the most sense to go in, maybe actually it makes the most sense to go in this one. Right over here. Do we have an empty slot? We do have an empty area for this, so we could easily get this guy put in here. We just want to get in and out as quickly as possible, and we want to do this process as quick as we can without hitting any of these guys, obviously. So we will put 1 in here. We can import him and unlock him just like so. But then the other guy we're going to want to just stick right in here because you can't have 2 in the apiary at the same exact time. So this will run. It'll accumulate blocks of iron honeycomb. And that will show up in our bees here once they start filtering through, once they start getting produced. But for the time being, it's not necessarily going to show. You saw some of these come through. Like we have withered honeycomb right now. Which isn't being processed. I thought we had set this up to be processed, but it might just be backlogged, or maybe it isn't working. Let's hop over to our centrifuge real quick here, just make sure. Yeah, so we didn't actually put it in here. We have withered honeycomb and withered honeycomb block in there, but that's it. It's not being processed. So now that'll be processed, and once we actually start getting the iron ones in here, we can start processing those as well. I mean, honestly, we could probably find it right over here and add it in right away, so we don't have to wait on it. So you don't have to have the item in order to put it in the filter. You could just put it in like so. Now that apiary, the tier 3, puts out in blocks. That's why we put blocks in here, which is really nice. Some of them will be crafted into blocks, other ones won't. So we should be pretty much set. This is going to go through the process and just, you know, kind of do its thing here. We're getting some withered skeleton skulls there, which is awesome. But yeah, so that's one of the big things we did there. And as you can see, the iron honeycomb is already flowing in. Once it has a space that's freed up in the centrifuge, we can actually get that going. Now, the other thing that we tried to get up and going on stream, which ultimately didn't work, which I'm a little bit disappointed in, is the creative apiary breeder. So if we go to creative, the creative apiary is a mod in its own, and it adds in creative items for the apiary setup. So you have a creative apiary tier in itself, which would just be the front-facing block. That we had a tier 3. This would be the creative tier for that. The apiary storage, and then also the creative apiary breeder. Well, the creative apiary breeder is actually not too hard to make as long as you have nether star blocks, which is not that bad at all. And then just a couple of apiary breeders. However, We got this up and going, and it does not integrate with the lower level tiers of items. So you have to have, I believe, a creative tier apiary, along with a creative tier storage and a creative tier breeder, if that's how you want to go about it. You can't just take this creative tier breeder and throw it in a apiary like what we have up and going right now. It doesn't work, or at least it didn't work for me. So if you guys, are able to have any luck on your end, just let me know. I'd love to see it if it does work, but for me, it did not work. The other thing I did put in place here is this is going to be our trophy room area. Now, obviously, it's in its very infant stages here, but we do have some things set up. So we do have our armor stand. We do have a couple of heads here. And as we get to more going, we'll put them around. But these are just pedestals from the reliquary mod, and they're display only ones, which is pretty cool. So we could put the heads on there. It looks cool. And you even see the tongue sticking out on the Naga right there, which is pretty cool. So we are going to continue on with the Twilight Forest. That is the plan for today. I'm not going to go over too much of what all else we did, because it wasn't really anything that crazy. I would say the only other biggest thing that we did, just to make a note of, because we're probably never going to get into it, is we did try to tinker with RF Tools dimensions here. And honestly, it is garbage. I hate this mod. I spent probably an hour and a half on a live stream trying to go through and understand it and get it up and going. And even then, I've been told numerous times it takes a lot of power to get up and going, even if you want to get into it. So personally, my opinion, this part of RF Tools is junk. I hate RF Tools dimensions. It doesn't make sense. It's not very straightforward, and it's not very easy to use, and I am not a big fan of it, at least on this version. I think previous versions have been a lot nicer. But this time around, it's kind of garbage. So we were going to set it up out here, but it just wasn't working for us. So that's about it. We're going to hop into the Twilight Forest because we are going to continue on our main path, our main missions. And if you guys recall in the previous episode, we're going to actually put some stuff away here real quick. In our previous episode, we did fight the Naga and the Lich, and we got those guys taken out. So the Lich is here. The Naga was somewhere over there. We fought two of them, actually. But we did get the Zombie Scepter. Now, this bad boy can be utilized to help us get into the blinding darkness of the Dark Forest's curse. We can resist the Snowy Forest's chill, and help us clear the poisonous mosquitoes from the swamp. So a number of different directions that we could go here. Believe that, I mean, they have different mobs for the different areas here. The snowy one is going to be the clear skies. So defeat the Snow Queen atop the Aurora Palace is going to be one of our next things to try to get towards. We do need to get Alpha Fur first to kind of help us with that. So that'll kind of keep us safe and warm. We also have the Carmenite. So settle the restless phantoms in the Knight's Tomb, and the Karamite Tower's devices will obey you. So that kind of unlocks things. We want to go down a different path there. There's a couple different ways for us to go. Ultimately, what's going to help us the most? Our magic map, of course. So as you see, we already did the Lich there. We did the Naga there. We do have the Snow Queen in that direction. And then we have some other guys down to the south there. I think we're going to try that direction first, see what we can come across. With these guys, I think these guys are one of the things that we want to do next. I always get confused on looking at the map and trying to understand what icons mean what. It's just a little bit confusing. Okay, so this is a dark forest. So we should be able to use our wand to help out, I believe. Oh no, it just spawns a zombie. But what we really want in here is night vision. Realistically, that's going to be our best thing. And we don't have that. This dude's a loyal zombie. That's awesome. But we really do want some night vision. So I think we should try to get some night vision up and going before we hop into the dense forest. Now, I believe that there is something from the Twilight mod that will help us out here. If we go into our setup here, I believe we can claim your title by placing a trophy on the pedestals in the dark. Oh, yeah. So we do actually need our trophies in order to do this. We're going to have to grab one of our trophies to help us with that point. I forgot about that, to be able to get down and take on this, to take on the dark forest there. But I thought there was something that could help us. So if we go to Twilight, if I could spell, and we look for vision. Maybe not. What about night. Let's just look up night vision. How about that? Night vision. I would have sworn there is something from the Twilight Forest that helps us out with this. But honestly, our better bet would probably to get a charm going. That would help us out. We also have a night vision helmet that we could utilize, but I mean, yeah. So why don't we head back to the base? Let's get some night vision going because I feel like that would be extremely useful for us going into the dense forest there. So we will be right back. All right, guys. So we are getting some night vision potions up and going here. Pretty straightforward to do. So you got to make some awkward potions. It's just water bottles with nether wart. Pretty straightforward for that. And then from an awkward potion, you add in a golden carrot, and it will make night vision for you. And there we go. We actually unlocked a unique flavor. I do try to eat as much as I can, much different things as I can, so we can unlock more hearts, which is really nice. So there we go. We got our 3 night vision potions, and what we're planning to actually do is just get a charm of night vision going, which should honestly be very, very easy for us to do. Just as long as I had blaze powder for it, which I'm surprised I don't have a pattern set up for crafting up blaze powder. I mean, did I not just add in a bunch of blaze powder? Yeah, what is going on here? What is happening? I'm confused. Yeah, we have a bunch of blaze powder. Why isn't it recognizing it? Okay then, very, very strange there. Now, we really don't need to do this, but what we are going to do is look for an item with indestructibility on it. So this bow has indestructibility on it. I believe we could pull it off. Actually, we got to make sure that we can do it this way. So I think actually we do need to put... Oh, it doesn't say on here. Unbreaking... Yeah, unbreaking and reactive is the only things. So I think we actually have to go with the Eternal Stella on this. And of course, why would they not do us dirty like that? They have upgraded this bad boy, which is a little bit of a bummer. You do need Aldemodium and Vibranium to get this now, which I thought it was hard enough in the first place to get, but obviously they thought that they should make it even more difficult. We don't have our elevator down here, so we'll just take the teleporter here. We just need to go upstairs. So we'll go to our refined storage setup. Actually, I think it's actually over in our swamp temple, if I'm not mistaken. We do need a smithing table, and I think I left it over there. So let's get over her. So pretty much, for those of you who are new here, these charms from Apotheosis are really nice. They do allow you to utilize different potion effects, just utilizing a charm, so you can turn it on and off, which is really cool. They do have a durability though. However, if you mix it with an Eternal Stella, it makes it indestructible. So pretty much you can put this on and let it run as long as you want to, and it will not run out of durability, which is really nice. That's exactly what we're going for here. So what we're going to do is actually head back to our Twilight Forest. And with our night vision, everything should be all bright. As you can see, it is pretty bright here. If we turn this bad boy off, it's going to run the course of the night vision that we have on it, and then it's going to disappear, and we will go back to being a little bit darker here in the Twilight Forest. So we do need our map though, because obviously I'm going to get lost extremely easily. Nope, we're heading in the right direction, and there we go. Our night vision did turn off, so we are back in the dark. But as you guys could imagine, it is going to be relatively dark to get through here. Oh, and I needed the trophy as well. Hold on one second. Let me go grab the trophy. All right, we got our trophies, and we're heading back over here to the forest, the dark forest. So as you can see, getting into this, it's very, very dark. Like, it is very hard to see, and I'm sure it's even worse on YouTube. So, night vision for the win. Extremely bright, and you don't even need to keep this on your main inventory. You can put it in this recessed one here, and you should be perfectly fine. So we're going to want to go in here and try to figure out where this guy is located at. Now, we could be a little bit cheaty and try to find this a little bit easier. So why don't we do that as well? So we did pick up this bad boy, the Spectral Eye Amulet, which is pretty cool. I don't know if this has a recipe. It does have a recipe, so you do need arcane gold and an arcane gold ingot, a nether star, but this honestly really isn't too shabby to get up and going, and I kind of recommend it. Pretty much this will outline different mobs. What is that guy? You see that? He's got like a crossbow. What are you? Okay, hang on. We're going down here. What is going on? We can't break any blocks. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Well, I wanted to know what that guy was, but it looks like unfortunately we're not going to have the opportunity to. I see some of these cracked blocks here, which means we got to be relatively close to our entranceway. We do have a hobbit hole here. You guys, someone had mentioned that it actually, you can find those little laboratories down below the hobbit holes, and they're supposed to help with understanding and showing new players how to transition zombie villagers into being normal villagers, which is pretty cool that they added that in. But I think we should be able to come through here and, you know, do what we need to do as long as we can find our main entranceway. So I guess I'll spend a little bit of time looking around, because obviously this is a kind of a labyrinth to navigate through and find where we actually want to be. So with that being said, once we find the entranceway, I will come back and I'll bring you guys back in with what we are trying to accomplish. All right, guys. So it took a hot minute to actually find an entrance here. And I think it's just due to how things are spawning, or generating, I should say, within the Twilight Forest here. So let me run you through what happened. So as you can see, we are, you know, a lot further southeast than, or we're what, directly east of what the one we were before. But pretty much I went to the one that was closest to the lich there. And then I couldn't find the entrance. Just was obscured, whatever it may be. Went to the one at the northern tier there. Right under the Naga. I wish I could point at it, but I can't really point at it. So I went to the one to the north there. Same thing happened. Couldn't find the entrance. So I went to this one and I finally could get into it. So the thing with it is we can't actually excavate any of this stuff. Like if I try to break it, it just places back. Like it's protected, and it makes sense. That's like the point of it, is it's supposed to be protected. And once you place your trophy down, then you can actually unprotected this area. So that's the whole thing. And I was able to find this one and be able to get into it, but all of the other ones were obscured by roots or whatever it may be, so I couldn't actually get to this point. So a little bit of a flaw, I feel like, but luckily, you know, they do give you multiple ones to check out, and we were able to find one that gave us the entryway. So this is what you are looking for. It is underground here. And all you got to do is take your trophy and you just place it right on there, and it opens everything up. Now, this stuff should be unprotected, as you can see, so we could actually farm through a lot of this stuff. But I am going to grab our trophy back here. It's not going to close it or anything like that, but obviously I want to hold on to it. And you can see right here, if you take the Lich King trophy, the Snow Queen, the Hydra, or the Naga, any of those will work on here, it seems like, so you could place any of those ones down. So now we go into this area, and this is going to be a lot to progress through. So this is like a dungeon. Holy smokes, look at all these dudes. There's so many of these guys through here. Ooh, silverfish, that's not what we want. But they are relatively passive, so we'll just have to be careful as we go through. We're going to pick up a lot of junk. So yeah, we're just progressing through this dungeon. I will take that anvil there. That'll be very useful, but we're trying to find the boss here. And typically it's going to be on lower levels. Actually, this might be the boss right here. So, wow. Okay, that was relatively quick. I did not think we would find it this quickly. But here we go. We're going to get our blade up and going. Let's make sure our inventory is relatively cleared out. We actually did get a kobold spawn egg. Those were the things that we were just taking out there. You can also get slime from those other things that we were taking out, so that's useful as well. Okay, we don't need that, and we also don't need that. So that as well, and we'll hold on to that. Okay, so here we go into the fight. So this is the Night Phantom here, and let's see, can we get like some cool, like, can we get a cool photo of these guys? Like if I jump in and I turn our camera off here, can we get a cool photo? This is weird. You guys can't see me or anything. Like I want to try to get a cool picture of these guys in some form or fashion. Maybe something will work. We'll figure something out. Hang on, let me get my camera back on. I just want to try to get that because with these kinds of scenarios, it's like I could go and try to find another one to take on, but realistically, if we can get it in a point in time, it works the best. But these guys are going to be super easy to take out. Again, our sword just really allows us to take them out super quick. So that should be all of them. I think we got all of them taken out. We did not get a trophy, but those were the Phantom Knights. We did get a Night Sword blade, or the thing there. And there is actually the trophy, so there's the trophy for us. We have Night Metal. I don't know why these aren't stacking. Some things just aren't stacking. Can we disassemble this at all? I don't think we can, unfortunately. They do look really cool, though. Fortune, Leech, Scorching Heat, Elite, yeah, Chill. I mean, it's pretty nice. I'd like to have stuff with more durability on it. So let's actually get rid of this stuff that doesn't have any durability. And we'll grab those. I think those would be the best for now. We'll grab that. And we did pick up the sword, but we'll get an enchanted one. And we'll also grab the metal axe. I think that's all we need. Yeah, that should be perfectly fine. We also got the epic shader as well. That's for immersive engineering. But we did complete that progression there. So right here, this is unlocked. So we did claim our title by placing a trophy on the pedestal in the Dark Forest ruins. We did settle the restless phantoms in the Knight's Tomb, and the Carmenite Tower devices now obey us. So now we can actually go into the middle of the Dark Forest here and take on the tower that lies there. Now, there is more to explore in this dungeon. I mean, it's not always guaranteed that you are going to find that boss right off the bat. There's a decent chance that you're going to spend a lot of time looking through here, and you might find case scenarios like this where there's actually chests to be found. But sometimes they do have TNT under it, as you heard there. So let's get rid of some of this junk that we picked up. The ironwood ingot is actually relatively useful. We'll hold on to that. I really don't know why these guys aren't stacking. What are these used for anyway? We can make night metal. Oh, we can make actually some pretty cool stuff with that. So I'd rather hold on to it. We don't need the dirt. We're going to open our backpack and try to store a few items in here that we don't necessarily have to have on our immediate inventory. Things that we're going to get into our trophy room. And I'm excited to expand out the trophy room. It'll be really cool once we can add even more of the Twilight Forest stuff in there. We got a bunch of blocks, which we really don't need. We can just kind of get rid of them. But these are great building blocks. If you guys are looking for a source of building materials, this is a great place to come and find it. Now, I think there might be some other things that we can find here, so maybe we'll spend a teeny bit of time looking around. Here's another anvil, but we already have one, so we should be perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a spawner right here, which is actually very interesting that it's kind of on its own realm, in a sense. I am going to get this name tag. That's definitely worth it. I don't think we need anything else. I feel like this is a normal spawner, just kind of integrated into this dungeon here, which is very unique. But yeah, you can keep going down here. We do now have a helmet crab spawner. Very interesting. We have actually a couple of them here. We can get through here. And look at this. We got a couple chests here. We can jump up and obviously avoid a lot of this. We have some steel leaves, steel leaf boots, an iron sword is meh. A maze wafer is going to be useful down the line for our next location. We do have some steel leaf boots and helmet. That a maze map focus again is going to be useful, but everything else is meh. And I don't think these guys really offer us much. We could try to take them out. They have the spider sound effects. I think they're new to 1.16 if I'm not mistaken. But they have the spider sound effects, which is kind of hilarious. Now, another thing too is sometimes you can find a chest behind here, but as you see underneath, there is TNT, so you're just going to want to be cautious when you are excavating around that, so you're not nixing anything, you're hitting anything. So we should be good at that. Blue wool and protection, man, we don't really need any of that junk, so. All right, let's keep looking around here. It doesn't look like this is a very large one. I remember these being extremely robust back in the day, but obviously probably has changed a little bit since that time period. And look at me saying back in the day. Got Smite, a charm of keeping. That'd be kind of cool. Again, I do want to collect as many unique items from the Twilight Forest as possible. so that we can actually put them in our trophy room. So I'm going to do a little bit of more time looking around here and seeing what we can find, and then I'll bring you guys on back. And we're going to head towards our next goal, but I don't know if we'll have enough time this episode to get into it, but we will see. All right, guys, we made our way out of there. I didn't really find it like all that much more. I just collected a few things here. Some like more charms of keeping, armor shards, maze map focus, which I believe this is useful when we get to the maze part, and you can also make an uncrafting table with it, but I don't think the uncrafting table actually works in this pack. But this is going to be the next one that we go to take on right here in this tower. That is right. We're going to take on this tower. Now, if you haven't completed getting the trophy from that previous guy there, this is not going to be open to you, and it'll actually be dark all around here, and you won't be able to even get close to it. But luckily for us, we're able to, because we did take out that last guy. And because of that, we can't open this up. Oh, okay, there is a gas guard right here. Didn't think we would run into one right there. We also have a Carbonite Golem, which I think these guys are actually pretty good to get iron from, if I'm not mistaken. But we have a lot of junk on us right now, like a lot of junk. Gas tiers. You guys might be yelling at me because I gassed guard a spawn egg. That's actually interesting because I'm getting rid of stuff like that. I don't really need a milk bucket. I actually set up a way to automate our milk processing, which is pretty cool. This does seem like a dead end, though. For the most part, there's a creeper there. But yeah, these blocks are really cool. You can actually implement them in your own base if you want to. At least in previous versions, you were able to. I don't know if you could still do it in this version, in 1.16. But let's just clear out a space here so we can easily get down into this location without having a problem. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of cheaty here. Well, not really. We're just clearing some foliage is all. I do need some food. Get rid of that. Eat our food. And we'll take all of this stuff out here just so that we can get down here. That's kind of the main goal here. Do you need to do this? 110% no. You definitely don't need to do this. But it makes it a little bit easier for us as we start making our way through things, if we can actually see where we would want to come down and enter into this structure. So there we go. We kind of cleared it out a little bit here so we can actually get down to the base there. We have a bunch of junk on us that we're going to have to sift through, but that's perfectly fine. But guys, we're going to wrap up the episode there. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below. Better yet, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. If you are new here, you do want to follow along, definitely hit that subscribe button and bell notification. Let you know every single time a new episode is posted here on the channel. I do stream over on Twitch on Mondays and Fridays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Link is in the description down below if you're interested in checking that out. We do have a community Discord that is set up if you're interested in joining the community. It's open to anyone, but all we ask is that you are respectful if you do decide to hop on over there. Link in the description down below as well for that. And I do post updates over there on the Discord for the channel as well as the stream. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it so very much, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Take it easy.